What is up, freaks? Welcome back to Tales from the Crypt. It's your boy Marty Bent, sitting down with another member of Team Lightswitch today, relatively new Bitcoin user. We've got a lot to talk about. Matt Brown, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. This is my second time recording. I don't know if we're ever gonna drop the first one, but
the first one, it's too old now. Like with the shit we were talking about, it's like old news, and that was a week ago.
I do want to clip out the Roger Ver part because it was kind of a transcendental look into the future of the fucking that was going to go on.
It's true. Space. It really it was prescient. It was a prescient rant that you went on. Yeah. So what's today's date? The 22nd.
Yes, the 22nd. It's
December 22nd, 2017, the year of our Lord, and a lot of shit has gone down. This has been a crazy week, been a particularly crazy day, and the crazy news is predicated around one company that has been hailed as Bitcoin's first unicorn, and that is Coinbase. The level of incompetence that they have shown this week is truly awe-inspiring. Matt, as a newbie, what are your thoughts?
So, they have a beautiful UI, a perfect user interface. You compare it to Gemini and you send a noob there. The noob is going to put money into Coinbase faster than Gemini every day of the week. Mm-hmm. I am shocked at their ineptitude. I could not be more rattled at how stupid people are in the smartest space in the world.
I agree, and it is a bit of a black eye on the industry right now. For those of you that don't know or don't understand what's been happening with Coinbase, basically, what was it, Wednesday night when they launched Bcash on there? It feels like a month ago already. It was like Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday night, out of nowhere. Coinbase decided to just add Bcash to their platform, and Bcash pumped. And it was a really, really weird situation because you had many things going on. Number one, it was weird because Coinbase has been saying that they're going to add Bcash in January, and the fact that they just launched it out of the blue, out of nowhere, without warning their customers was pretty shitty on their part. Number two, you had a very overt instance of insider trading. Like I've been getting DMs of people from San Francisco who have heard from the Coinbase product team before Bcash was launched. So the news was out there. I don't really care about the insider trading, but it happened. Number three, I can't say it happened for certain, but it looks like it happened. If it looks like a rat, walks like a rat, smells like a rat, talks like a rat.
Yeah, allegedly it completely fucking happened.
Yeah. And then number three, with the same situation, you had CNBC, one of their shows was pumping Bcash. They were shilling hard, and it was a weird combination of events happening at a very coincidental time, and it was very, very sketchy in my opinion.
I have no idea how Roger Ver bought an entire show on CNBC to shill.
He's got a lot of Bitcoin.
CNBC fast money turned into just a fucking Bitcoin Cash shill operation. Bitcoin.com wasn't bad enough.
I mean, CNBC really didn't have a lot of credibility going into this week. I think they lost any shred of credibility that they had after Tuesday night. And then, so that was earlier this week. Again, it feels like a fucking month ago already. Today, they halted Bcash trading. And there's been rumors swirling around that they may be insolvent, and some dude named Laurent, he's been a great researcher in the space, specifically researching the spamming attacks of a few summers ago and one earlier this year, I believe. He believes he found one of Coinbase's wallets. I think it's confirmed that it's one of Coinbase's wallets, and basically the way their wallets are structured is so piss poor from an engineering perspective and from a cost basis perspective, the way their UTXO is set up, it is they're basically just giving miners money at the expense of their customers.
Coinbase's,
yes. And so today they shut down Bcash trading. You can't even buy, sell, move, or do anything. I think you can move it. You definitely can't buy or sell it. So the whole situation is sketchy. As a newcomer, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm not. So like I said, I'm pretty shocked at the ineptitude of the space. I guess I'm not.
See, it's not the whole space.
No, I know. You're right. And like I should say, I'm a fucking noob, and that the people who build all of this shit are probably the smartest people alive right now. Like Santi and that shit, they actually might be the smartest.
I mean,
people
Santi's definitely a lot smarter than the people at Coinbase, but the
of course, Pierre, all those fuckers. But we'll cut that. You're not a fucker, Pierre.
Fucker is a good term on this podcast. An endearing fucker.
So I guess I'm not shocked that like Brian Armstrong is sort of willing to kind of play a little fast and loose with the altcoins, because it does make sense from like a
revenue perspective.
Yeah, from a revenue perspective. Like everyone's a business. Like, that guy's got goals to hit, I'm sure. VC people are asking him to hit goals, and he's like, all right, I know what we'll do. We'll just add this shit coin and pump it, and solves our liquidity problem on the back end.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. It's like the move to add Bcash was so brash and so sudden. It's like,
it points to a conspiracy.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, like why do it that way? Why roll it out that way and then shut it down a couple days later? So this has led to a lot of people basically insinuating that they may be insolvent and they may be fractionally reserved. I don't want to cause a run on Coinbase, but I certainly will not be holding any coins there ever.
I might buy live on the pod right now.
Hey, we've had a couple people buy live on the pod. This is another buy. My favorite live buy on the pod was when Lewis bought when Santi was in here. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Just got duped. I mean, so let's also paint the, like, let's do a little parabolic trav charting right now. We're at 13,865. I believe we fell to like 10.5 at some point today.
Yeah, 10.4 I think has been the true basement. There's inspirational support at 12K. Inspirational support. Like, shit is hitting all the fans, and Bitcoin's like, this is our bottom. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Because you know what it is. I mean, you got a bunch of institutional investors on the sidelines have been fucking been like waiting for a dip like this, and this was a considerable dip. I think it was 30% from the top, potentially. I think the top was like 19.8.
Yeah.
Actually, shit, almost 50%. Almost 50.
It's the biggest dip of 2017.
Good, we needed one. It was hot. It was a hot fall. Like, I wrote about it this morning in the newsletter. I believe it was fucking the beginning of November. The price was at like $3,000. Like, we 6x since then, at least.
So why does Brian Armstrong, I guess you can't really answer for him, why does he like hold more Ethereum than Bitcoin and not believe in the long-term vision when he's running like the current spearhead, the first unicorn in crypto? How could you not be long on BTC if you're long on the industry?
I mean, I can't speak for Brian. I've never met Brian. I don't know what he's thinking, but I don't know. People believe that. I mean, he's an ex-Goldman guy, from what I understand, and there's a lot of Goldman people working on Ethereum. Like, at Consensus is a couple Goldman guys as well.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to get any Goldman conspiracies, but
that's actually good to know.
Let me double check, make sure he's. I know Fred Eschram or whatever, their old co-founder, was definitely a Goldman guy.
I would assume it's like in the spirit of competition. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit if you list like Ethereum or Litecoin or Bcash. It's just like the complete incompetence of the rollout of Bcash this week is.
I mean, it hit fucking zero on the exchange today.
Yeah, and
what does that even mean?
It means that Coinbase is incompetent. Like if you're gonna roll this out and not have it ready to go, like, and fuck up your order books. I'm pretty sure they opened it on Tuesday or Wednesday night, whenever it was, and closed their books within 2 minutes. And that's why CNBC Fast Money tweeted out that picture of like the $9,000 Bcash, and it really never hit that price. Like, if you look at any other exchange, I think at that point it was trading around like 3,400.
So that was a orchestrated pump, and then they just took it offline because of the pump, essentially.
I mean, again, I can only speculate
allegedly.
Here. I can only speculate
and
here.
CNBC,
that's what it looks like.
And CNBC tweeted it very fast, and then tweeted it again.
Brian Armstrong's a Goldman guy, confirmed.
And then tweeted it again today. CNBC did, like, 9K Bcash, like, cashing
They did?
Up. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they tweeted it again, even though it was like clearly a fucking pump glitch.
Yeah, see, this is where things are getting like weird. I don't like to get conspiratorial too much, but like,
this is an orchestrated attack. on the beautiful currency that is Bitcoin.
Yeah, it seems as though, but like, fucking A, man. Bitcoin's strong as hell. I'm looking at it now. It's back up to 1,300. 13.5 right now. Like, it's fucking anti-fragile. The honey badger doesn't give a fuck. Like, that's the one beauty of the system. Like I've been saying for a while.
I was about to buy on Coinbase. I'm so out. I'm so confused by even what's going on. The price listed is 13,130 on Coinbase for me right now. Then you click over to the buy page. Yeah.
I'm seeing 14.37 on trade block right now.
Gotcha. All right. So anyway, on the dashboard, it's 13.1. You go to the buy screen, it's 14.4.
Got to get your shit together, Coinbase. I mean,
now it's back up. We probably have bad Wi-Fi in the studio.
That's probably it. All right, the Barstool difference.
I was up last night until like 2 a.m. watching Parabolic Trav's live stream.
Mm-hmm.
The way he says "hodl" is like perfect. It's perfect for his little character.
He's a Canuck, man. He's got a nice.
We just hodl. We hodl. I was trying to maintain my business, but it's getting too much. So shout out to my patrons.
Hey, sorry, just hodling my Bitcoin over here.
Just hodling. Like I actually look at it like a business. I just hodl.
Parabolic Trav. This is an endearing impersonation.
No, I love you. I love you.
Yeah. So, fuck. Where are we now? I mean, I think I would not recommend Coinbase. I stopped recommending Coinbase to people earlier this summer. But I'm definitely some people have been asking me like, oh, is it okay if I buy on Coinbase? I've been like, yeah, it's fine, like whatever. Like they sell now, like no, I'll tell people go to Gemini, download the Cash App. They're gonna roll out Bitcoin functionality soon. Use local Bitcoins if you have to meet somebody in person. Make sure you meet.
So what does that mean for Bitcoin and Bitcoin's upward velocity if we hit a limbo where Coinbase usership drops and we don't have the Cash App yet?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, we could consolidate for a little bit and run sideways. Again, the Bitcoin protocol itself doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't even know any of this shit's going on. Like, it's software that's running flawlessly. But yeah, it's definitely a hit. Like sentiment, it's definitely a sentimentality. Is that a word? I don't think so. But it's definitely a hit to the psyche of the public and their faith in Bitcoin. So that's been Bitcoin's Achilles heel. I would argue the first decade in is exchanges being shoddy, shitty, and pretty terrible custodial services. But people conflate that to Bitcoin with Bitcoin, and wrongly conflate it with Bitcoin because Bitcoin has nothing to do with the exchanges. They're just on and off ramps to Bitcoin. They're important. They play important role. But I think these situations that have been happening with Coinbase specifically over the last couple months, I think it's really lighting a fire under the community's ass to make things like decentralized exchanges a thing and bring them to the fore.
Gotcha. The basement on Gemini was only 11,731.
Yeah, I mean the arbs between the exchanges is pretty crazy right now. Like I was quoting 13.4 from Bitfinex. It's at 14.2 on Bitstamp, 14.4 on GDAX right now. And China's chilling in the mid-14s as well. So, yeah, man, I mean, I think this is a good example of pointing to the anti-fragility of Bitcoin. Like, this is something that a lot of people, if this happened 5 years ago, I think we would have seen, like, a much bigger correction. But now people sort of understand that these exchanges aren't Bitcoin. More people are understanding. There's definitely some people who still think.
And I think a lot of people, too, there have been so many eyes on it that it is viewed probably more widely than in the past as an opportunity to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like what people were, the no-coiners on the sideline were like, oh, when there's a huge correction, I'm going to buy it. And I think that they actually did a little bit this time. We just heard Frankie Borelli, the pizza maker, got some. He was
Frankie Borelli got some? He was talking shit on me the other day.
Frankie Borelli, the pizza maker, not on KFC Radio, on Sirius XM Radio.
On Sirius XM? He shot that out to the world?
National, he was roasting you.
I might have to challenge him to Rough and Rowdy, too.
No.
Frankie, if you're listening to this.
No, he won't fight. He's not a fighter.
I can tell. Frankie, I'll do.
You hear that, Frankie? We can tell.
We can tape my right arm behind my back, and I'll fight you.
Oh wow, Marty. Marty, stop it. It's Dave's guy. It's Dave's guy. We're Team Lightswitch. We're watching the fucking wall,
true.
bro.
I'm kidding, Frankie. It's all love. It's all love. I don't
Team,
want to
Team Lightswitch is a subsidiary of Team Portnoy at the end of the day.
That's true. That's true. We're all in this together. The blog never sleeps, and we're teammates. Just hey, if you're gonna.
But you were talking shit on Bitcoin, and then But no, that's what like you need though. You need the no coiners to be like, oh, it's going up too much. I can't afford it. It's too high. I'm not gonna buy it at an all-time high. And then you get a massive correction, and they buy in. That's how we have such strong support at 1,200 or fucking 12K.
12K. Yeah, it's strong support at 1,200. Like that was this time last year. It's crazy to think. Like I wrote about.
That is crazy.
I wrote about it in my newsletter, in the holiday send-off newsletter of Marty's Bent. Subscribe. Link in the bio of my Twitter account. It's been a crazy year.
Yeah.
So we started out the year. We had a couple China bans. We had a couple ETF bans. We had ASIC boost, which was a discovery that some miners had an unfair advantage over others. We had amp lead, which basically proved that Bitmain, one of the big mining companies in China, had produced hardware with backdoors that could be shut down remotely. That was a pretty big drama. And Roger Ver, I don't even think you know about this, but Roger Ver had like another fork attempt in the beginning of the year, Bitcoin Unlimited.
I read about it this morning in a little newsletter.
And that failed. Like they literally tried to run that network and the nodes crashed. That caused a lot of FUD. Then when you move to May, we have consensus and then the New York agreement where they want to do SegWit 2X. A bunch of VCs and like less than 50 people met to decide the future of Bitcoin, which is pretty hubristic. And then we had the summer of the apparent flippening when everybody thought Ethereum was going to overtake Bitcoin's market cap. What else happened this summer? A parity hack, a couple parity hacks, a few parity hacks. Then we have Bitcoin Cash in August, or Bcash in August, fork off. And then this fall, we've had the insane price run from like $3,000 to almost $20,000, and couple that with a bunch of FUD. Bcash giving a pretty weak effort to manipulate the markets, in my opinion, and now this Coinbase shit. It's been a fucking crazy year. There's so much goddamn news, and that's why you have to realize you have to find your Bitcoin Zen. And we've been talking about this all week here at the Barstool offices. You have to find your Bitcoin Zen, where you know there's going to be news, there's going to be shit happening all the time, and you just got to be able to flow with it. And but if you truly believe in this investment, just at the end of the day, I have a long-term view. It's like, all right, I am in this for 10 years. And again, I practice what I preach. I only put as much money as I was willing to lose into this. So I'm not stressed out at all. It's not like I took a mortgage out on a house to buy Bitcoin. So I was reading some terrible stories on Reddit of people who took out like $40,000 loans with 25% interest rates from like loan sharks to buy Bitcoin at the top, and they're pretty fucked right now. So
all right, so I'm working on my Zen. I think I'm getting there. This was big for me. This was my first big correction. The last time it was at 13K, I literally didn't sleep for an entire night reading the Nakamoto Institute because I literally thought it was never going to stop going up. So this has been a good correction for me, and I'm underwater on a couple buys, more than a couple buys, and I don't give a fuck. If I took out a fucking huge loan from a loan shark, I still wouldn't give a fuck because I think we're Gucci.
Yeah, long-term view is still Gucci. I mean,
I don't even think it's that long-term. I'm thinking Q1. We're touching numbers we've never touched. Take that to the bank. This is not advice, but we're touching a new all-time high in Q1.
We are not your financial advisors. This is not financial advice. But with that being said, there's a lot of good fundamental news going into 2018. I believe NASDAQ's working on a couple of ETFs. I think we're finally going to get an ETF approved. Not that I completely agree with the ETF model. It's just good news, and it makes Wall Street people more comfortable with it for some reason. And on top of that, like you have nations, like again, like the geopolitical situation around the world, I don't think has gotten any better. Zimbabwe and Venezuela are still in pretty terrible financial straits. You have things like Spain's referendum a few months ago. More stuff like that's going to continue popping up. This debt crisis that the world finds itself in continues to get worse. So again, remember why you're invested in this. If you are, it's a hedge against a global monetary meltdown. Pretty
Yep.
heavy shit.
Yep. We don't need debt.
Some debt's okay.
Yeah, we do
sometimes.
need debt. That was a lie,
That's
but
okay
we don't
sometimes.
need all this fucking debt.
What we don't need is somebody who can just print money out of thin air and inflate the money supply. So where else are we? So again, I want to stress the importance of finding your Bitcoin Zen. Go read some Rothbard, read some Stoics, read highly recommend Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. That man was smart as fuck. And the way he spoke and wrote back in the day, like those words travel throughout time. Very, very, very applicable to life.
All right.
What else you thinking? What do we got here? How long have we been recording?
Parabolic Trav just tweeted, or no, it's old. Never mind. Fuck.
Dude.
Thought he just tweeted something bullish.
Would you kiss Parabolic Trav if you ever saw him in person?
No, I actually think that this has kind of shown me that like the charting is like he's been right almost every time, but like the charting's a little silly.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way to chart this shit. There's so many external factors.
I mean,
it's obviously resilient as fuck and like a hard motherfucker, but
yeah, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. Like TA charts, like are a plan until you get punched in the face until Coinbase. Until there's rumors of Coinbase being insolvent.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this one's just gonna be quick and dirty. I got the wife about to pick me up to head back to Philly.
Yeah, I gotta go Christmas shopping.
Yeah. Yeah, so everybody have a healthy, happy holiday.
Except for you, Roger Ver. Fuck you.
Roger. From Bitcoin Jesus to Bitcoin Judas. False prophet early on in the days. But
Fire. Kill him.
But with that being said, Roger did do a lot for Bitcoin in the early years, and we would not be where we are today without his efforts then, but you know the old saying, you die a legend or live long enough to find yourself become the villain.
Yeah, you two-faced rap bastard.
All right. That's all. Everybody happy, healthy New Year. Peace and love.